There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come think of coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them. The children have no shelter, oh, children have no education. The children have no one to call their friend, the children have no food to eat. We got made up heaven, oh, we got made up stories. Oh, there is no job, no money for us.
hotlbr.com.
I can't stand no more, cause no more food.
Well, good morning and welcome to another edition right here. Matter of fact, the climax edition for the week. The program is the editorial review, and is a regular feature program on this radio that comes on every weekdays, Mondays to Fridays. Your usual host, Jackson C. Clay, is not around this morning, and so I'm fitting in to bring to you another edition of the program, a Major's Headline. That's the editorial review, I'm sorry. And this program brings to show the local dailies, those ones on the newsstands this morning. And so my name is Martin Figgins. Says, welcome to another edition. Time check is 10 minutes past 11 o'clock. We'll take a few bites of our theme song, and then we'll come back and go straight into the program. Stay tuned.
There is no job, no money for hustlers. Come think of coverage, the rainy season coming soon. In the ghetto, all the houses are full of leakage, nowhere to sleep. Come and see the widow, living in the street with her children. Since the daddy went to war to fight, he never lived to see them.
And we have several papers on the newsstands this morning. We have the Women Voices. We have the Hot Pepper. We have the Hot Pepper newspaper. We have the New Dawn. And we have the Heritage newspaper as well. The Analyst newspaper on the newsstand as well. We have the Oracle News Daily on the newsstand as well. We have the Daily Observer, the Inquirer newspaper, the News newspaper, and lastly, we have GNN Liberia, and lastly, the New Republic newspaper. We did bring you all the headlines and major stories within these headlines here this morning. And so let's go quickly to our first paper this morning that has to do with the GNN Liberia. Volume 13, number 20, Friday, March 31, 2023. This paper has been sold for only $40 Liberian. And on the headlines, we see the first story says, Bishop accused of corruption. A bishop, a clergyman, been accused of corruption right here. This is the first story on the front page of the GNN Liberia. And also provide NEC with full 2023 budget. U.S. envoy urges government of Liberia. And I see the picture of Ambassador Michael A. McCarthy right here. And also on the front page, George Weah net worth 2023 hits $90 million.
Now take it to places where people are suffering. We got lame people.
And then quickly to the back page right here, it says Gorbachev women pledge support to comment to support comments, detest deplorable market condition. ECC condemns wave of electoral violence, voters striking. ArcelorMittal women honor IWD with community outreach in Buchanan. Popular criminal sentenced to 10 years for armed robbery. Representative Matthew Joe supporters arrested with alleged weapons at Charlin's office that's in Buchanan. Gone Africa provides training in handcraft skills, business, and development. Those are the major stories on the front and back pages of the GNN Liberia. All you have to do is just get yourself a copy, and you will be up happening in paper from here. Let's go to the New Republic newspaper, and it says "Light for All" is the motto. Volume 13. Volume 13 there on number 280, Friday, March 13, 2023. And this one is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. And on the front page, election calendar tumultuous, tedious. It says election calendar tumultuous. It says, and I see the picture of the Chief Justice, Mrs. Yo, there, Justice Yo, there on the front page, and it says corruption shut down LWSC's operation, that is the Liberian Water and Sewage Operation, quote, to shut down LWSC's operation. And the African Development Bank provides funding for Liberia. That's on the front page of the New Republic newspaper. And it says messy censor, says Representative Yankwe. Liberia Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services has been accused by an honorable man here, says messy censor. Well, what's so messy about the censor, says Representative Yankwa? You can find that in the on the front page of the New Republic newspaper on the Friday's edition. Still on the front page right here, CBL warns delinquent borrowers to face grave action. And I see the picture of the Central Bank of Liberia Governor Talu here on the front page. Quickly to the back page of the New Republic. Yes, that's the New Republic newspaper. On the back page, I see National Archive distance itself, says department head defrauding a private. I say this again. National Archive distance itself, says department head defrauding is private. And still on the back page, court set aside application for JFK to test US 100 million cocaine. Court sets aside application for JFK to test US $100 million cocaine case. Okay, we can find that story on the back page of the New Republic newspaper. And still on the back page, it says ECC condemns the wave of electoral violence and voter stalking. Well, that's it here for the back page and front page of the New Republic newspaper, volume 13, number 280, Friday, March 13. This paper is sold for only 40 Liberian dollars. Quickly to the newspaper right here, one of the paper that always make the newsstands on the editorial review. And on the newspaper, it says that the new newspaper, the nation's news since 1989, volume 33, number 234, Friday, March 31st, 2023, is sold for 40 Liberian dollars. And I see the pay on the front page of the newspaper. I see top government official that includes the Maritime Commissioner, the Minister of Information and Foreign Affairs, with some high level of U.S. diplomats here. And it says Liberia officials hold talks at State Department, that's at the U.S. in the United States of America. So let's hope that the talks were fruitful for us. But more on that story, you can check on the newspaper front page. And it says, we are to make defender of global democracy addresses democracy summit. Well, I see the president of His Excellency Dr. George Manu. We are here on the front page. For these and many more, you can get yourself a copy of the newspaper that has been sold quickly for only 40 Liberian dollars. And on the back page of the newspaper, it says the quotation of the week says, "Don't rape, be a gentleman." That's a good one. And on the back, why Boaka is delaying Nimi running mate. Inside source gives account. And I see the faces of former Vice President Ambassador Joseph Newman, Kanga Lawrence of Buchanan, and Senator Jeremiah Cohen of Nima County. All three of them all on this back page. Sierra Leonean immigrant officers arrested with Liberian voter registration card That is on the back page. Why did he try to come, knowing that you are an immigration officer? What did he try to test our system? Well, these and many more you can check on the newspaper back page. And it says LACC boss Hills African Development Bank support the governance effort. And I see a particular group of guys from LACC and that of the African Development Bank post for a picture because this news, let's hope you bring good things to the table. LNBA holds annual General Assemblies today. That is Liberian National Bar Association. Well, they will be holding the General Assembly today. For those of you who want to keep up on that story, it's also on the back page of the newspaper. And let's now move to the Inquirer newspaper here. And the Inquirer newspaper is volume number 33, number 40. And March 31, 2023, it's been sold for 40 Liberian dollars. World leaders keen on strengthening democracy as we advise transparency in election. World leaders have gathered and to talk about their keen reason for this gathering is to strengthen democracy across the world. And as our own leader representing us in that forum, President George Manuel Weah, with his picture here looking elegantly dressed, says he vows to a transparency in the electoral process. That's on the front page of the Inquirer newspaper and still on the front page. Mainstreaming gender confab targets human security. D. Maxwell Kamayan leads dedication to Washington Hole talks with State Department. And I see the picture of the Maxwell Kamayan, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. And let's take a quick trip on the back page of the Inquirer newspaper. VIP Taylor named education as CDC flagship initiative. That's the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. She just named education as the CDC flagship initiative. Liberia Bar Association holds annual General Assemblies today. And I see the picture of the guy, Brexit Rainey, there from the Liberian Bar Association. Well, that's the shape of it right here on the Inquirer newspaper. For you want more on these stories, get yourself a copy for only 40 Liberian dollars. Well, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the editorial review. The time is 21 minutes past 11 o'clock, and it's right here on ABC Radio 105.1. Let's quickly go to our next paper on the stand that has to do with the Daily Observer, volume number 23, number 58. First Friday 2023, been sold for 40 Liberian dollars. On the front page, I see the president there looking so serious, and it said, "We are executive order number 117 challenged at the Supreme Court by the EFL, that's the Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia, wants High Court to provide constitutional grounds for the president's latest legal move." I cannot go to school because no more money. Logging companies pay US 1,000 fine for forgery in 2019, document shows. And it says a drone shot of Kwele village, one of the communities affected by Ikwawa's operation in Gola Corner Community Forest. Well, you can check out this story on the front page of the Daily Observer. Logging company pay US 1,000 fine for forgery in 2019, document shows. China Union to resume mining operations shortly. Promises 3,000 Liberian jobs when fully operational. And lastly, 2023 election, TMS looked at ways voter fraud happens in Liberia. Let's go quickly to the back page of the Daily Observer. Pick Senator Conga Lawrence or be rejected. The Grand Bassa District 3 representative aspirant warns VP Bwaka. And I see the picture of Toga Alexander Bennett right here on the back page of the Daily Observer. LRA holds strategic meeting with joint ECOWAS, WMR, and WAMA missions. That is the Liberian Revenue Authority, LRA, today held an engagement meeting with the joint sub-regional surveillance missions to Liberia, outlining the country's progress in domestic resources mobilization. For these and many more, you can get yourself a copy of the Daily Observer newspaper. That's the Daily Observer newspaper, and you can just get it for $40 Liberian, and you will be updated with all of the happenings on the within this paper. Let's take a quick trip now to the Oracle News Daily, and the motto says reporting the truth to you. And they are there on the Crown Hill Broad Street. Today is Friday. Edition is the 31st of March 2023, volume 1, number 005, and it's been sold for $40 Liberian. Alien back in UP's politics. I see the picture of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the one-time standard bearer and chief partisan of the Unity Party this summer around, is back in UP's party. What is it exactly she's there to do? Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is linking up with her Unity Party after 6 years of brutal separation. The veteran politician has been holding talks with her deputy Joseph Boaka, who now leads the former ruling party as they bid to retake state power. For these and many of the story of this story, you can get yourself a copy of the Oracle Daily, today's edition. ArcelorMittal dangles real monopoly. One of the leading steel operators in Liberia, operating there in the northern part of our country. The steel giant ArcelorMittal points at $3 billion economic benefit as it fights to keep hold of the contested lucrative railway. The company plans not to relinquish its exclusive use of the Liberia's rail, linking its iron ore mine to the port of Buchanan until 2025. For more on that story, get yourself a copy of the Oracle Daily newspaper. They say they are reporting the truth to you, so get yourself a copy for only $40 Liberian. And quickly to the back page of the Oracle Daily newspaper. And it says, Jibril massacred other waterside massacre. It's a big one. Jibril massacre other waterside massacre. A witness claiming to be a former Liberian army soldier has accused the Sierra Leonean man facing charges for alleged gross human rights violation in Liberia for ordering massacre at waterside in Monrovia. Soldier 15, who like to other witnesses, cannot be named for protection for reprisal to Finland's Turku Court of Appeals that the civilian has gone allegedly to loot from a store when Jibril massacre ordered their killings. For these and many more on this story, get yourself a copy of the Oracle News Daily. Still on the back page, regional watchdogs review tax policies. The Liberian Revenue Authority Thursday held talks with the joint regional surveillance mission of to Liberia, outlining the country's progress in domestic resources. I guess we recap. We other talk about that story. So get yourself a copy of the Oracle newspaper daily. For more stories, you can get that for only $40 Liberian. 26 minutes past 11 o'clock. Editorial review right here on the Friday, the final edition for this week. If you are just tuning in, I'd like to say welcome to it. Let's take a trip right now to the Analyst newspaper. For those who strive for better Liberia most analytical newspaper. And this is the volume number 24, number 139, Friday, March 31, 2023. This paper has been sold for $40 Liberian. On the front page here, I see the president looking so serious. We are internalizing global democracy, vows to free and fair 2023 elections. And it says President George Manuel Weah has renewed his commitment to the global community to promote and uphold democracy within the context of respecting and protecting the fundamental rights of citizens and residents, and strengthening accountability, transparency, and the rule of law at the home and abroad. That's it on the front page right here. We are internalizing global democratic vows to free and fair 2023 election. And still on the front page, the Liberian National Bar Association Annual Assembly is today. So they will be going to the general elections prime on the agenda. So the overall guys in authority will be relinquishing power, so in case the outcome of this election goes south against them. And on the front page right, I see the Liberian Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services was the centers of flop, as pundits calls it a waste. Let's just bring you a few lines of this story. It says, when the government took the decision to conduct the 5th National Population and Housing Census, it was an understanding that it will enable the government to obtain the necessary data that will be used for development purposes, as well as using it for the purpose of demarcating additional electoral districts during the 2023 general elections. But for these and more of the many on this story, get yourself a copy of the Analyst newspaper. And on the back page, quickly, it says, reading the analyst is rights, not a privilege. Well, let's go on the back page. It says, Liberia U.S. official holds talk, focuses on elections and good governance and right issues. I see the pictures of the U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Molly Fee, and Minister Maxwell Kamaya there doing that handshake, that diplomatic handshake. Let's hope this talk you fruitful and will be put in place within our country. UL student gain practical exposure on field visit to ArcelorMittal. And I see the group of University of Liberia students here post for a picture there somewhere in Nimba County at the grounds of the ArcelorMittal facilities. And it says students at the University of Liberia College Agriculture and staff of ArcelorMittal Liberia doing the field trip in Yekipa concession. Joint ECOWAS, WAMR and WAMA mission holds strategic regional talks with LRA. Those are the stories on the front and back pages of the Analyst newspaper, Liberia most analytical newspaper, they say. Let's quickly go to the Heritage newspaper, volume number 25, number 355, 272, Monrovia, Liberia, Friday, March 31, 2023 edition, sold for $40 Liberian. President Weah vows to make a bastion of global democracy. President Weah giving his word to the international body there that he will uphold democracy and the rule of law. And the word based on me, he plans to be the one that will enforce and uphold and be the firewall of that law. Liberia's 2022 population census credibility question.